with Space Cadets here. Simple instructional video on how to terminate Ethernet cable. So this is a plain Jane basic Ethernet cable. This is Cat 6A. We're going to start with our Cat 6 cable and do a few quick loops with our cutter, and then we're going to just take off this outer sheath. Now keep this around, and then we're just going to take these, pull them down. This has this little interior cable plastic guard. This is Cat 6A. Anything Cat 6 and above, you might see something like that, but not all cables have those, particularly if you're working with Cat 5, Cat 5e, you probably won't see that. You'll also notice these are twisted pretty tight together. But we're going to take that piece that we had earlier, and we use that to just spin this down here, and it helps just get these untwisted. So now this is for making a male connector, right, that you put into like a wall Ethernet jack or whatever. Now we're going to use this other side, and we're going to do a keystone. So this is a keystone. This is like the little wall ports that you might see. You can put this into a patch panel, or you can put this into a gang box in the wall if you want to put it in a room or something like that, if you're wiring Ethernet through your home. Now for the keystone, you're going to need the keystone itself. Now this is just a very basic little terminator that I use. You can also get crimping devices similar to this that'll work for keystone installations as well. Now, you can also find patch panels that are just you go and you do the wiring directly onto the panel, but I prefer to find keystone panels, and then you can just terminate these as you need, and then connect it into the keystone panel and use lots of different connector types. I'll show a picture of what a keystone panel looks like. It's in essence a panel for a rack that has a bunch of open squares, and you can put in whatever devices you need. So for this, now this is interesting. It has a sequencing for wires, but it doesn't follow kind of what we were looking at. It doesn't follow if you're terminating with an RJ45 connector. These are specific to the keystones themselves. So I have other keystone connectors that have a different sequence. And for us, we're using a T568B connector type. So I'm going to follow this bottom section, which is the B type here. And to do this, I can just put this in. Similar to what we did before, we're going to cut off roughly an inch and a half or so at the end of the cable. I like to keep these end pieces so that I can use it for untwisting the wires. So I'm going to look at this sequence here, and this is orange stripe, orange, blue stripe, blue is the sequence for one side of this, and you kind of make an L shape. And then on the other side, it's hard to see here, but there's a color scheme on the bottom. It's brown stripe, brown, green stripe, green. And again, this is specific to this keystone, and what you have may be different. So make certain that you're looking at the particulars for your keystone. And then we're just going to put this down in here, and then you can start to get the sometimes based on the twist of the cable and stuff, this can get a little goofy, but you're going to get into this rough sequence here, following that color scheme. And so now I have this wired up. Now I'm just going to push down a few of these just so this can hold it in place. Okay, but I'm going to show you this. So this is the punch down tool. You'll see here at the end, it's got a little blade. This has the sharper side. Now, again, different keystone styles use different blade types. So there's two blade types here. And then separately, there's a release for second one. So in total, there's 4 blade styles for this. So you got to find the right blade style for the keystone connector that you're using. And then once you have it, you literally are punching down. That's why it's called a punch down tool. And you'll see a piece of wire cut off. Sometimes it takes more than once, but generally speaking, it's a sign that you're punching it down correctly when the wire itself comes up. And the keystone. Now I don't have, there's actually a plastic cover part that you can put on top of this once you've actually got this terminated. I don't have that on hand here, but most of them have some type of covering piece here so you can kind of keep this area protected. And with that, you're ready to go. So makes a nice secure connection. And that is how you go from a bulk Ethernet cable and get it terminated so you can plug in your devices. So this is really helpful if you're going to, um, let's say you want to run Ethernet cable to a wall-mounted TV. You can, put the wire behind the wall and put in a keystone connector into a wall and have a nice clean finish where you don't have wires hanging down. If you want to be able to just hardwire your desktop computer so you're not using your Wi-Fi, really easy to make Ethernet cable. You can buy Ethernet cable by the foot at a Home Depot, but if you're going to do any type of larger scale, definitely look at something like Monoprice or other areas to get bulk cable at much better deals. If you're going to be doing any type of Ethernet work, at this point, I would strongly recommend you use Cat 6 or above. Not that, frankly, most devices, or frankly, even any device is going to really require that bandwidth, but the cost difference is minimal and gives you a little bit more future proofing. I hope you found this helpful. A good networking fundamental, a few basic tools, punch down tool, wire stripper, or you can even use these basic types. They're very easy to use. Um, and then a terminator tool. Um, good luck on any projects you're doing, and have a great day.